Association of Women Entrepreneurs edition. I'm Tara McHugh, founder of the Association of Women Entrepreneurs, and I'm here with my co-host, Fred Arnold.
Yes.
Another fabulous show.
And another great guest.
Yes, we have Denise O'Brien of Dome Consulting. She's a publicist, a philanthropist, beauty expert. I'm very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
But I like most mother of three.
Mother of three.
I think
Yes.
that's fantastic.
I like that most too.
Toughest job in
It is the
world.
toughest job in the
Nothing
world.
against
I
mothers
have to
that-
add that to my title so people actually know I have like a real life besides all the other things I'm
You
doing.
want to build character, have kids.
Have kids.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so last year, being a busy mom too, last year you were honored with Social Entrepreneur of the Year, is that right?
Yes,
And
that was-
what does that mean?
Well, social entrepreneur is somebody that owns their own business and helps others with what they're doing and giving back to the community. And I went to Loyola Marymount University, and I was very honored to be selected amongst many men. There are at least 50 men up on the wall with bronze plaques, and there's very few women, so it was a big honor. My family flew in,
Nice.
my parents, my kids, and it was just an opportunity to be honored for all the hard work I've done for over 3 decades, whether it was working in the beauty business, whether it was working in helping survivors of domestic violence with my nonprofit, Wings of Love International, and then of course my Dome Consulting, which is a consulting and publicity firm to help people get their message out to the world. So
Perfect.
Well, let's
it was a big
talk
honor.
about Dome Consulting. And you're a publicist. You help
Yes.
people look great, feel great. Who needs someone like yourself in order to really build their brand?
Well, I think everybody needs someone like me because our business is so important to get out to the community, whether my clients are international clothing designers or movie producers or actors, actresses, speakers, authors. There are a lot of people that are very, very creative and busy at their craft of doing what they do and not so busy at tooting their own horn. So they need somebody else to tag them along, whether it be especially my clients that are over 45, 50 years old that really don't have a grasp on social media. I have a client on the East Coast, Aaron Beam, who's an ethics speaker, who's very well known and gives a great presentation and speaks all over the country to a variety of colleges, universities, and corporations to share his story. And he isn't as familiar with how to get his name out there. So he's a perfect example of someone who's an author and just needs that guidance of what works now, whether it be video, audio, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the different means of doing that.
Sure.
And then having someone in Hollywood where I live to bring out the best in them, to make them look good, to make them shine, to make the starlight go on them. It can be any variety of people.
Now, you did mention earlier, not only do you want to make them shine, you want them to feel great so that they do shine. And I think that's really important.
That's exactly right. I think that the most important aspect is when someone feels confident about themselves, whether they look good on the outside or feel good on the inside. They can't bring their true character and essence of who they are out to the world if they don't have that confidence. And for me, that's my spirituality, and that's another whole TV show, another whole topic.
Interview.
But I have to say that when I'm out in the community and people meet me and they want my name, they want my card, I want you as my publicist, and they want to know exactly how they can get a hold of me, I think it's just because of my energy level and my excitement for what I do and the passion, whether I'm on a red carpet, making sure that they don't have a little smudge on their shirt and making sure that their tie looks just right and that their glasses aren't, just whatever it is to make them look good for that shot that's going to be, on Getty Images or wherever it's going to go. It's important that they have someone that's kind of watching them, watching their back all the time, and they can trust you. And then there's the whole written aspect of a publicist, which is to write good copy, present them in a good light, get the press kit out, get the media kit out. Everything's electronic media now, so having a good presence on the internet is important, and making sure that stays clear and clean is my job.
Very nice. So, yes, social media, and yes, but there's still the old-fashioned book.
The old-fashioned book.
And you are
I
the
still
author?
actually hold books. I still read books. I'm not a Kindle person. I can't.
Yeah. So you're the
get into
author
that.
of Adventures in Manifesting.
Passion and
Passion and
Purpose.
Purpose.
This book is a compilation book, actually, of some great authors, including Bob Doyle from The Secret and Janet Atwood from The Passion Test, and some passionate people in the world that really wanted to share their story and their message about where they found their passion, where does it come from, how does it get from inside of us out into the world. And so this particular book is the first in a book. I'm working on another book right now, and I'm excited about the fact that people still read books, that they still want to hold books, and I have many libraries of books in my house that take up the entire house.
So what would you give quick advice for somebody out there who wants to write a book? some kind of tips?
My best advice, and I get that question all the time, is to just start writing, to carve out 20 to 30 minutes a day and just start writing. And depending on what the topic is, in most cases people want to write about their lives. They want to write their memoir. I meet people all the time that say, well, when I write my memoir, can I call you? And I say, sure, but let's not wait until you're dying. Let's do it now. You know, seriously.
Really? Well, you can remember also.
Yes, exactly. I've just finished a 364-page book that I ghost wrote. So, you know, there's a lot of ghost writing that goes on too, where people that aren't quality good writers like me with the Dome Consulting can get somebody that can make sure that everything's published correctly and spelled correctly. There's a lot of people that want to tell their story that have nowhere to start. So
you know what's interesting is I know a gentleman that he writes a blog. And I said, turn this blog, you've probably written 40 articles, into a book.
Exactly.
And it has some great life lessons in there.
That's
turn it into a
exactly
book.
right.
So break it down to small bits and pieces. I want to ask you just a couple tips real quickly. Somebody runs into a challenging situation, socially awkward situation. They need to get out in front of it, don't they?
Absolutely. You're talking about like a negative situation for a
like
celebrity or a company or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. The worst thing you can do is shut the doors and go hide away from it.
Yeah.
And I always say any publicity is good publicity. I know I was just recently talking to my father on TV about some publicity that came out for a person, I won't mention the name, but the negative publicity made her book a best-selling book yesterday, number one best-selling book because of the negative publicity. So, you know, I say that to get out in front of it, like what you say, just means to confront the situation and to talk about it. Talk about it in a positive way. If you have a publicist that can craft it for you, I mean, we can look at the presidential campaigns of past and see what good writers and publicists can do.
Well, there's been some good ones
create,
there.
yes,
Let me tell you,
exactly.
to create images that were or were not the actual image. So
exactly.
yeah, there's no doubt.
There's no doubt. So, but I'm all about the truth, and that's the most important thing. Is
But
that
it
if
is
you
about
live,
how you tell the story too.
Absolutely, how you tell the story, and if you live in your truth and you feel your truth, and if I am very selective about the clients that I take. I get a lot of phone calls for people wanting to be a client, but I'm highly selective in the type of clients that Dome Consulting will work with because of my integrity and wanting to tell a true story and only a true story.
So how did they get a hold of you?
Well, the best way to get a hold of me is on Facebook, Denise O'Brien, and also my phone number, Denise O'Brien, 310-754-9321. 310-754-9321. And my website, DeniseO'Brien.com, of course.
Very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, Denise O'Brien, publicist, author, philanthropist, beauty expert, but most of all, mother of three.
Yeah, hi Brittany, Evan, and Brennan. I love you all.
Yes.
Yes.
And author of Adventures in Manifesting. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be right back.